guys, well, got a little bit of a hole in our door here, and I don't know if this is going to work or not, but basically what I did is I screwed some drywall screws in here, and I don't know if this is going to work. So, and I've also got a couple of screwdrivers and different kinds of tools here that might work, but the whole goal is to kind of pull it back out. That way I can glue it back together. So it's kind of tricky to do sometimes. I got some pliers here just to kind of pull it back out. And this is the tricky part, because when it gets kind of concave like this, it's really hard to get it fixed back to the way it was. So it's just a matter of just kind of working on it. Kind of like pulling the dent out of your car. Kind of similar, but this is wood, so it's definitely not as easy to do this. The deal is with wood, though, is it's kind of, sometimes it's a little more forgiving, because you can kind of fill in your holes and whatnot. So I kind of concave that a little bit there, and then get that one out just a little bit more. Okay, so I think I got that popped out. This one here seems to be a little more tricky for some reason. So actually, I'll let you guys see this from a little closer up, but actually this, oops, sorry. This is actually gonna work. Let me flip my, so this is actually gonna work. So with the screws and everything, I was able to pry that all back out, except for the bottom part, but I think that's gonna be okay. I'm gonna fill this in with wood filler, and then we'll paint it, sand it, and it'll be like brand new. So if you guys ever have a problem with a kicked in door or concave door, I'll show you how to finish doing this. So stay tuned. All right, guys, I took the screws out, and this is gonna be a little tricky since I don't have my tripod and I didn't want to take the door off. But I've got some of this Gorilla Glue stuff here. It's basically construction adhesive. And a lot of you guys are gonna say, well, are you supposed to use this or that or the other thing, right? Well, this will work just as good. And it's sandable and it's paintable. So what I'm going to do is just kind of fill in some of these holes. And I am going to sand this, guys, so don't blow up my comments and go, well, it's going to be such a rough finish and blah, blah, blah. But the reason I'm doing this and not your normal wood filler is because you guys know construction adhesive, probably saying that wrong, but is very tough stuff. And so after I've gotten this glued back and sanded, any of the minor stuff I'll be able to just use just some regular filler. But for now, I'm going to use this because it's going to make a stronger repair, if that makes sense. And the Gorilla Glue, it's pretty good stuff. And this is definitely not the finished product. It definitely already looks better than it did because it was all concaved and I was able to get it pulled back out, completely pulled back out. Didn't have to replace the door. And by the time I finish this, you will never know there was an issue here. But I'm just kind of getting the rough shape in there. And I'll come back and I'll sand this all off nice. And like I said, the main reason I'm doing this is to make a stronger repair because this was obviously all pushed in, and so this construction adhesive is going to get really, really hard. And it's not going to come out again. Or in again. So anyway, I'm pretty much done. Make sure you wear gloves with this stuff because if you don't, it is a pain to clean up. So anyway, you guys can see a little closer up there how it looks. Not the finished product, but you can see how it looks. All right. Okay, guys. Back to the next deal here. I'm going to take a little bit of a wet towel here, paper towel, and I'm going to kind of smooth this over. And it's not going to be perfect, so it's just kind of taking a few of these high spots off and smoothing it out so we got less work to do in the next step. So I kind of forgot about that. So I'm just going to lightly just kind of rub this glue and just kind of smooth it out just a little bit. A little bit of a spot right there. Okay. It's good to just use a wet paper towel for this. So, so sometimes you can cause more problems than you want to do with this deal, but my biggest thing is just to kind of smooth it out a little bit. It's not, like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be a little bit better. Okay, I think we're good. I don't want to do too much, but just a little bit of smoothing out there before this dries, kind of help out. So there we go. All right, guys. Now I let this dry, and I've never actually used a construction adhesive for this type of deal. Usually I use like wood filler or something like that, wood glue with a mix of wood filler. But you know, a lot of times you can take wood glue and put a little bit of sawdust in there with it and use it as a filler. So I just want to try something new. I mean, you guys might beat me up in the comments if you guys are pros at this, but basically this is saving me having to do a new door. And it basically, and like I told you guys, like, you know, you never know till you try, but it might be better just to use my trusty knife here to kind of peel some of this off of here where I don't want it. That's probably going to work better. Sandpaper is just not really doing it, but this actually, the knife's working better. So it's always kind of a learning curve when you do stuff like this, but if you never try, you never know if it's going to work. So like I said, I should be able to get this fairly close, and I was going for a more durable fix than the wood glue. So all I'm doing now is just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. And I don't care if I get a little too much off of here or not, because I'm going to paint this. And this construction adhesive is paintable. I did check that, so we'll be good there. The knife is working extremely well. I didn't think it would, to be honest. I did not think it would work this well. So I'm just kind of cleaning out the grooves a little bit. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but it beats having to buy a new door. And it's going to have some of some of these lines in here, so it's gonna actually, I'll get you guys kind of a close-up here when I'm done, but it's actually gonna look like just normal wood grain in here. Got a little bit of the sandpaper in there. I'll have to kind of clean that up a little bit, but other than that, it's actually looking pretty darn good. And the fix, I mean, it's got into the damaged area, so the construction adhesive is doing its job. It's basically, as you can tell, it's not going anywhere. It's not popping in anymore. It's all sealed good. And like I said, I'm just taking enough of this off. Any high spots or anything like that. A little down here where I didn't need it. Okay. And I'm just kind of blending this on, blending this right next to the paint here. A little bit of my sandpaper grit in here, which I don't need. I don't need that in there, so I'll trim that out of there. Once I kind of cut it a little bit, I can just use my finger and all the little pieces just kind of fall off. All I'm really doing now is just getting that sandpaper grit out of there. Probably shouldn't use the sandpaper, but I thought it would work a little better, but it did not. So if you guys are doing this, just use you a nice sharp knife. It'll work just fine. Take that and trim that out of there a little bit. And I could spend a little bit of time on this, like more time, and make it perfect, but I'm getting pretty close to kind of what I'm after here. So let me let you guys see this here in a second. Just kind of smoothing those edges over. So you won't even, after it's painted, you won't really even notice it. Okay, so I'll let you guys see this up close. Kind of hard to show you guys this, but that's what it looks like. So just perfect enough for painting. And like I said, I'll get some paint out and get this thing painted, and then I'll probably put a couple coats on and then let you guys see it. So flip this around. It's always hard to video and do your work, but as you guys can tell, it's nothing wrong with that at all. It's like I said, it's not perfect, and it's okay with me. So I could spend a little more time on this, but the fix, as you can tell, I'm pushing on it. The fix is durable, and that's what I was after. Let's put a little paint on there. It'll kind of even make it a little more durable. All right, guys. Now I got some Bear premium paint here. Now, not a sponsored video or nothing, but I've been using this all throughout my new remodel and everything, so it's doing pretty good. I mean, it's not the greatest, but I've gotten in and out of this jug of paint about 1,000,000 times, so each time I try to get into this jug of paint, I gotta kind of cut the paint away because it kind of seals itself shut. So, not only that, the little grip things that hold it on here are about gone too. So getting a hold of this is something else. But it worked. Actually, it was a lot easier that time than it has been in the past. So anyway, yeah, this is the Bear 300i paint. Okay, guys, I got the camera flipped around and put it on the tripod so you can actually see what I'm doing here. A few paper towels down just to make sure we don't make a big mess here. So anyway, got my gloves. Okay, all I'm gonna do is tip this up a little bit so I can get some paint on my brush here, so I don't have to use a paint pan or anything like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put the paint on here. This is just the first coat, but as you can kind of see, everything's disappearing and kind of blending in. It's not, like I said, it's not perfect. Definitely not perfect, but it's gonna be a whole lot better than it was. Put some paint on these black spots I have here too. kind of putting it on heavy here because I'm just kind of taking out some of those little imperfections there without making it run, so you don't want it to run. Pretty much done with the first coat here, and you can tell it's looking pretty darn good. All right, guys, so it's dry now, and so it's a strong repair. I'm gonna put another coat of paint on here and probably call it good. Like I said, it is not perfect by a long stretch, but it's a whole lot better than what it was when I started. So I'll get another coat of paint on here and then we'll take a look. Okay, guys, go ahead and get the paintbrush out, and I'll tell you, if you want to not have to rinse it out every time, you can always put your paintbrush in a Ziploc, and it'll kind of keep you from having to rinse it between coats. So kind of helps out. So like I said, this is definitely not perfect, but keep me from having to put a new door on here. So I'm just go ahead and put this final coat of paint on here. And I may do one more, it's just hard to say, because it takes a little more to cover the white, it seems like. You can tell it's already, yeah, I may do three coats on here. I can tell it's looking a whole lot better already with two. Not quite there yet. Not blending in like I want. So okay. Now the nice thing about these little repairs are you don't have to, doesn't take a whole lot of time to get a coat on there, so perfect. All right, guys, so this is going to be the last coat, and I think that's going to probably be enough. Pretty well blended in perfectly, and you can still see it a little bit, but like I said, it's a whole lot better than what it was. So pretty well done here. Okay. Okay, guys, so get you up close here so you can see the repair. So, like I said, it is not perfect, but it is a whole lot better than what it was. It's not dry yet, but anyway, guys, Anyway, guys, if you like these kind of videos, make sure you like and subscribe. Share with your friends. And till the next time, appreciate you watching. Have a great day, guys.